Welcome back to our YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. I would want us to begin this analysis by a publication from one of the dailies, and the headline is "The Three Men Who Hold the Key to Saving Gachagua." And the faces are the usual suspects: Raila Odinga, Uhuru Kenyatta, and the President of Kenya, William Samoei Ruto. And I just want us to read one paragraph only. It says that these men are loudly quiet, but they are the leaders of the 67 senators who have the unenviable task of weighing the impeachment of Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua during Senate hearings on Wednesday and Thursday. Of the 67 senators, 34 are affiliated to the ruling Kenya Kwanza alliance, while 32 are allied to the Azimio la Umoja coalition. The senators are troops of the President William Ruto, retired President Uhuru Kenyatta, and Azimio leader Raila Odinga. Leaders who spoke to the People Daily believe that the silent trio holds the key to the DP's future, with the argument that the senators will ultimately seek their guidance on the removal. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to agree with the publication of this newspaper. If you followed very closely the events that took place at the National Assembly, you will agree with me that those were the voices of William Ruto and Raila Odinga. When Kimani Ichung'wah rose to speak, he was speaking the mind and the voice and the language of William Samoei Ruto. When you listen to people like Junet Mohammed and Millie Odhiambo, they were speaking the mind and the language of Raila Amolo Odinga. And many people have said that maybe Rigathi Gachagua did not weigh the kind of battle and the people he was going to confront in this fight, because indirectly and directly he faced head-on the three heavyweights: Raila Amolo Odinga, William Ruto, and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Many people have said that we should not try to rope in Raila's name in this, but I've always told them that you can never separate Raila Amolo Odinga from the prevailing political circumstances. He's been there. He's a seasoned politician who is always maintained to be very relevant in every regime, save for the Kenyatta regime: Moi, Kibaki, Uhuru, and now William Samoei Ruto. Now, if you want to know that it is true that Raila has a stake in Rigathi's impeachment, and if you want to know that it is Raila Amolo Odinga who sent Rigathi home at the National Assembly and still holds the key even at the Senate, then I want you to listen to Raila Amolo Odinga, what he says about Rigathi Gachagua.
Something that looks like has a predictable, predetermined outcome to be satisfactory from where you're sitting?
You ask me, it is a tragedy that this country should have somebody of the caliber of Mr. Gachagua as a deputy president. Mr. Gachagua should not even be ahead of a chicken pen because of his conduct, the way he behaves, and the way he talks. He talks with so much contempt to the rest of the country. It's as if he's a deputy president for Mount Kenya only. Other parts of the country do not exist in as far as he's concerned. When he talks to me as we and you, meaning my people and his people, and yet he's supposed to be the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya, and even has the impudence to go and say that Kenya is a corporation or a shareholders company, that there are some communities with more shares, others with fewer shares,
Others with
no shares
yes.
at all. That those ones with no shares have nothing to expect from our government. You see, he forgets that the same government which he runs collects taxes from all over the country on a daily basis. And then he tells them, you are not shareholders. So what are they doing in Kenya? So when we talk of self-determination, there's good reason. Even the Gachagua is not censored. And I've asked Mr. Ruto publicly to censor his deputy because, it is an insult to the country. If he now, for example, goes with him to Western Kenya, to the coast, to Nyanza, when he does not recognize those people as shareholders in the country, okay? And you remember, Mr. Gachagua had a criminal case which has been removed just like some of those others. He's the one who is now talking about corruption, okay?
From the corridors of power, many understand that it was not only the talks about my people, but Rigathi Gachagua did not show any respect to Raila Odinga. No, Raila is also a senior politician, but for the very period that Rigathi Gachagua was talking about Raila, he used to call him Mzee wa Kitandawili. That name was demeaning, and he kept on threats and warnings. He never learned that sometimes these politicians will always change. Politics is dynamic. Today, the person you think is your enemy will become your friend. And this did not go down well with Raila himself and Raila's supporters and even the leaders around him.
This war for me is personal because I come from here. It cannot be ya kwamba watu wangu wa nyumbani watamalizwa mimi nikiwa deputy president na William Ruto akiwa president. Hatuwezi kubali. Mzee Azimio tumemtuma huko bunge aonane na hao akina Medhu, awaambie shida yake ni gani. Mimi na president hatuna time ya kuongea na yeye. Hatuna. Hii mzee akitendawili amenikuta kwa mazishi hapo juzi, hapo Nyandarua. Akaniambia, wewe kwa nini hutaki mazungumzo? Kwani unaogopa mazungumzo? Wewe kubali tuzungumuze. Mimi nikaamuka na kumwambia, mimi siogopi mazungumzo, ile mtu unaogopa ni wewe. Kwa sababu pahali yote umeenda umeharibu. Ulikuwa kwa Moi ukaharibu, ukakuwa kwa Kibaki ukaharibu. Umechukua mtoto wetu Uhuru Kenyatta, umekoroga yeye, umemchanganya, amepotea. Sasa tunaona ukikaribia William Ruto atapotea. Hiyo ndio shida yetu na wewe. Nilimwambia kama ameketi hapo. Nilifanya mzuri ama mabaya? Nilimjibu hapo. Kwa sababu ni mzuri kuambia mtu ukweli. Sasa walikuwa wanajaribu kuja hapo kwa rais. Juzi nimetoka nimeenda ngamo, nimeenda Italy. Wanajaribu kupitia huko. Nikaitwa nikarudi haraka. Kwa sababu pale unajua kazi yangu pale ni rahisi sana. Mimi kazi yangu ni kuchunga Rais William Ruto. Na mimi sina kazi nyingine. That is my work. Nikiona mtu yoyote anaweza tatiza serikali yake, hiyo ni kazi yangu kungangana na hiyo mtu. Na huyu kitendawili historia yake ni mbaya. Ama mnataka nimkubalie? Nimkubalie akaribia rais? Sasa mimi naenda Colombia kutafuta soko ya kahawa, alafu nipite Cuba. Lakini nimepanga. Hiyo ikulu nimeweka mitego kila kona, kila mahali nimeweka, na niko na watu wa kunipigia simu. Wakionekana tu karibu naambiwa. Kwa sababu uwezi mtu ameharibu serikali ine umkubalie akuje ya tano. Si ataharibu.
He did the same even to Uhuru Kenyatta. The humiliation and the persecution that Uhuru and his family went through. Now, for William Ruto, he's got a personal vendetta because he says Rigathi wanted to overturn his government. He says that Rigathi had infiltrated the Gen Z's protest. He says a lot of things. Now, if you look at all this, it seems that they have refused to forgive Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi has persistently said that he regrets what they did to Uhuru Kenyatta. And he has always, pointed accusing fingers to President Ruto, saying that is the one who told us that he charged me against my brother Uhuru Kenyatta. Because Uhuru told us Raila was good, but he told us Raila was bad. So we really mistreated Uhuru, but it was because of William Ruto. Uhuru Kenyatta has decided to express a very loud silence. Raila has never spoken before. Ruto has never spoken. But we can listen to their loud voices from the people who support them. So it seems these people have not forgotten Rigathi Gachagua. Many have argued that this is malicious because there is nothing new that Rigathi is doing that the other politicians are not practicing, whether it is corruption, whether it is the politics of our people, the shareholders, and all that. They say that the number one person who should have gone home is William Ruto, because this is exactly that he practices. If anything, they say that actions always speak louder than words. And if we were to juxtapose the actions of William Ruto and the utterances of Rigathi Gachagua, you'll realize that William Ruto is practicing more tribalism and politics of shareholders more than even Rigathi Gachagua. And maybe I understand that Rigathi is now trying to ask for forgiveness from Uhuru Kenyatta and all that, but it's rather late, too little, too late. That's what most people are saying. Do you think that the Senate can stand on their own without listening to their masters? I know senators are very sober and people are counting on them. Do you think independently, with an independent mind, they can sit down, listen to the submissions, and determine whether the accusations meet the threshold as envisaged in the Constitution? Or do you think they will go back to they will be like dogs and they will go back to their masters to ask, where do we vote? Because this is exactly what we witnessed at the National Assembly. And I was really ashamed of that National Assembly. They were trying to pretend that they listened to the accusations, but those are goons for hire, political goons for hire. Why am I saying so? They never accorded those who were trying to support Rigathi Gachagua time to speak. They shouted them down. They had a choreographed narrative. Rigathi is disrespectful to women. I mean, that was shameful. And I wonder whether we can get anything good in terms of legislation from our members. Do you think the Senate will be different? That is the question that many people are asking. I want to believe that the Senate will stand up and counted at a time like this. And so it is very clear that the fight is a personal fight.